Hey there, Sharon Hornelson here. Welcome to day, and I wasn't going to start with the day, but I'm super frustrated with Facebook. 133 of Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Today we're talking about a great subject, one of my favorite with respect to mental health and well-being. And that is, what is the fastest, best way for us to learn something and really, really learn it and internalize it? And that is, I want to say fill in the blank, but put in the comments below, but it is to teach something that you learn. The sooner we teach something that we learn and are exposed to someone else, the faster it gets anchored into our subconscious and into our thinking and minds and our repertoire of tools and abilities to grow and scale and supersize our businesses, which is what this topic is all about. There's something called the Feynman technique. Never really heard of it because I'm not in education, but I guess I am in education. I'm just not officially in education. Uh, it's it's a simple process that you learn a technique and then you teach it to a child, or teach it as if you're teaching it to a child. So social media is the perfect place to share something like this. But you learn something and it forces you to actually organize, clarify, and understand the subject or the topic that you want to share with someone else and you want to internalize for yourself. It you have to identify different gaps. What gaps does this technique or strategy or this problem solve that exists in you or the person that you're teaching it to? Now, if you're like me and you teach things to your granddaughters, my granddaughters are now 3 and 5, so they understand a lot more of what I teach them than when they were babies. But I'm telling you, this absolutely positively works. It reinforces the learning. Whenever we share in different modalities, meaning we write it, we take notes, we talk about it, we share it in a post, we write something up about it, we organize our thoughts around the topic. All of those things help to really reinforce it and install it in our subconscious so we can call it up and use it again. We have to identify the gaps, review, and then simplify. Anybody else notice that that spells IRS? So whenever we learn something new, think of the IRS and teach it to someone else as if they're a child. Again, social media, perfect place for that. Well, why does this work? And can you think of some instances in your life and in your businesses in particular where you have used this strategy? Maybe you went to a conference and you learned a really cool 5-part process or 3-part process and you wanted to bring it back to your organization, but you didn't bring a notebook. Who doesn't bring a notebook everywhere with them? That is my question. So you have to find a way to remember it. And then the fastest way to remember it is immediately turn around and teach it to someone else. And again, if you don't have grandchildren like me, or if you don't have people that you can bounce ideas off of, where they won't think, oh my gosh, you're crazy for trying to teach me this thing that is so technical, I couldn't care less. I am currently learning some AI because I am absolutely out of my element when it comes to artificial intelligence. But I'm like, it's come to the point, developed to the point where it can help me with my own personal challenges, right? Automating some of the things that are hard for me because I'm visually challenged. Not making an excuse, just stating a fact. I am legally blind. And so some things take me way longer than other people. It's like I write these notes to reinforce the learning for me because I can't read them. I wish I could read them when I'm talking to you, but I cannot read them when I'm talking to you. It's just like a big black blur on the paper. See, which is kind of what my writing is anyway. But I know that when I'm thinking about the subject, if I write key bullet points down for myself, I'll be able to talk about it somewhat intelligently. So, when is the last time you taught somebody something new that you learned? And I actually learned this as a little girl now that I'm thinking about it. My dad used to he worked at Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing his entire career and retired from there, but he always had businesses on the side. And one of the things that I learned from him by him demonstrating it was he would learn something new at workday. Big companies, billion-dollar companies back then still had consultants and techniques and different modalities come in and teach their executive teams. And so he brought things home for us like Myers-Briggs, Dale Carnegie. He and my mom actually became Dale Carnegie teachers and coaches because they loved the principles so much. And guess what? That meant my sisters and I got it through osmosis, not through osmosis, but listening to them prepare their speeches and their programs and things. Uh, but I was thinking it was high school, but debate, but it wasn't high school and debate. It was the example that my dad in particular and my parents set for us girls growing up that really reinforced the power of, hey, I learned this cool thing at work today. Let me share it with you girls. And that's what he would do. We learned so many things that way that I took for granted when I went to high school and went to college, that I just knew things because I'd been exposed to them at a really young age that other people didn't. And I'm very grateful for that. So today, what are we going to do? I say find a way to make this part of your company culture, your business culture. That's what I do. I just demonstrate that all the time for the people in my organizations. And I have found that it spreads. When I do something, the people in my organization do something. And then they realize, oh my gosh, this is win win because I get more out of the learning that I had, and the person I'm teaching gets something out of it. And they didn't have to go through the whole seminar or course or whatever to pick out the golden nuggets. So, how can you make this a part of your company culture? One thing you could do is do like a lunch and learn and have different team members present at lunchtime something that they want to share with other people, something that they're really good at. I think one of the best things we can do to help develop people and develop their skills is allow them opportunities to shine and present in front of their peers. Now, a lot of people are afraid of public speaking, so they're going to freak out by this, but you can find a way to, smooth it over and make it possible that everybody who maybe it's voluntary, everybody who wants to do it gets the opportunity to do it. Um, I was thinking about this today. How much more and faster would I learn if I do this with everything new that I learn? Now, I'm learning every day, so I think my family would not like it so much if I turned around, but I do just in conversation. But if I turned around and tried to teach them all the different things I pick up on any given day, they'd be like, stop, hold the phone, time out. So what are we going to do today? I challenge you to teach us something in the comments below in 3 sentences or less. Anything you think would be of value or anything that you learned that you were curious about. 3 sentences in the comments below. That's our challenge for today. Otherwise, when you learn something new today, share it with somebody else and test it on yourself. The faster you share it after you learn it, the faster and the stronger it locks into your brain and your subconscious. So you can retrieve it when you need it or want it. All right. Have an awesome day. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. We are rolling out the Supersize Your Business School community, actually launching it on Friday. If you would like to be a part of that, it's free. Just put Supersize in the comments below and I will send you the invite. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.